This will be a debunk proving that Dems are the lesser educated, cultist, brainwashed, ignorant, openly anti-American party of evil. The claim that Republican voters have less formal education than their Democrat counterparts, touted as a recent reversal in American education, a key indicator of party affiliation, is a misleading narrative often amplified by leftist circles to discredit Trump and his supporters. 24/7, it's constant education insults, incel, maggot, stupid, etc. Dems and libs are the proven lesser educated party, the proven cultists to an absolute T, the dividers of America, the sole reason we are so divided, the openly anti-Americans who root for our direct harm and fascists and evil. They believe a party of all lies, and most libs cannot even speak without lying. Libs eat up every little bit of anti-American lies that they can that their dim cult puts out. Lefties talking about Kool-Aid is hysterical when it's coming from a people that back a party of all lies and schemes while destroying America and American lives plus worse. But, say the lefties, you among hundreds/thousands of you who seem to only really ever be able to lie, spam, evade, insult, laughy, react, and deny/block before even debating, spamming personal attacks by the loads. I always ask to merely civilly debate. Over 400 libs I asked to do so, and only a few literally only even responded back to debate or acted like a normal human being. Dems and libs are the side of proven bots who cannot debate. Prove me wrong. Calling me a moronic term for being a Trump supporter, of which extremely glad to be, is pathetic when Dems and libs are lying, openly anti-American country and people destroying traitors who root for our direct harm, destruction, fascism, and worse. Y'all force daily acts of war, us out, blame us, and play victim when we get upset. Libs are beyond insufferable and infuriating. Dems and libs are the party of violence, crime, criminals, dictators, repeat offenders, cartels, trafficking, traffickers, and more. Open borders, suffering in the hundreds of millions, and so much more. All Dems have done and do is harm us. Our education systems, our schools, DEI, wicked extremism, focusing on BS instead of what counts. Facts. Kids and schools have more futures, chances, and precision than ever before under Trump. Kids have real chances, real futures, real outlook, and real educations now that count, no indoctrination. Charlie Kirk wrote an entire book on American colleges being a scam. I entirely and firmly back his take. The more college, the more indoctrinated, anti-American, and unwise. We now have Trump accounts, and then there's also student accounts in places like Mississippi for low-income families that cover over 12,500 students. Blue states and cities are factually the worst off, most dangerous to live, the most drug/crime/fraud/anti-American right stripping on benefits per person, the most impoverished and bleeding us dry places. It's literally made us stupider. Cult angles can be found in my articles/channel. Same for all the division and other stuff. Most are linked below in this article. Conservatives are the majority working class American citizen, the businessman, the doctor, blue-collar mechanic, builder, plumber, etc. American colleges were factually woke scams where students got stupider and more anti-American, and this was proven by data. All education statements made by President Trump are fully debunked. He factually never said that smart people don't like me in a traditional sense. He meant that in a political sense where everyone is corrupt and powerful around him. He factually never said such in the way that Dems and libs like to twist and take out of context to benefit your narrative. Trump was mocking the elitist snobs and DC insiders who hate him and straight talk topics he brings up like border security, trade, and calling out radicalization. He was not talking about his supporters, just merely jabbing at the smug, smart crowd who looked down on him and everyday Americans. His base laughed because they got the joke, and the so-called intellectuals despise Trump precisely because he fights the good fight for the regular American people and not the 1% rich elite billionaires party of oligarchs that puts us last and sells us out every chance given. Dems are proven that. Trump is the American first president who puts us first always and helps the lowest of us. It was classic Trump sarcasm aimed at his foes, not his fans. He was merely imitating Sergei Kovaleski, a reporter who's not disabled, but he merely has a limp from a chronic condition, and Trump was mimicking how Kovaleski flails his arms when he lies about 9/11 to cheering crowds. Trump said it himself that he would never do such to a disabled person, but the left runs with the story anyway. Trump never once said that he doesn't care if his voters dies. He was flexing how fanatical some of his supporters are and what they have said about him, that he could hurt some of them and they'd still support. That's what they said about him. It was pure exaggeration and campaign stage BS, and the crowd laughed. Big nothing burger. It was not a serious statement. The other quote is from a rally where he was joking that I'd be on that plane too, so shut up. But CNN cut it so it sounded like he was willing to let everyone burn. Same thing he said about the Secret Service. They signed up for it not "I don't care if you die." He's flying Air Force One every week, risking it like the rest of us. Narcissist? Maybe. That's the one thing I'll give the left, is that he is a narcissist. But he's the one who said, "I'll go to Ukraine tomorrow if Zelensky asks." That's not a guy who doesn't care. That's a guy who actually cares. Lefties pushing the lie that Trump said, "Don't care about you, I just care about your vote," is total fake news. He never said that. It's a twisted 2020 route from when he teased loving supporters' votes, not dismissing them. Debunked endlessly, recycled to paint him heartless. Voters saw through the smear. That's why he dominated 2024. Oh, please. Trump said that "smart people don't like me" line. That's half the quote. Full line: "The smart people don't like me. They think I'm too blunt." Then he pauses, smirks, "which is why they'll end up voting for me anyway," he said. Guy's been right every election cycle. Deep down, they know that Trump is the only one who says inflation's killing us instead of climate anxiety or trans rights. He focuses on what matters and what counts. Red when the lights flicker. Recently in Minnesota, the Department of Education guidelines require students in K-12 to learn ethnic studies. That includes protesting for BLM, defunding the police, transgender affirmation, the dismantling of cisgender privilege, and it disrupts the nuclear family. A lot of our schools are factually like North Korea. Ridiculous rules, clothing guidelines, and punishments out the wazoo it's just outrageous. Our schools were failing, trans teachers with massive fake breasts, extremist ideologies being taught to kindergartners and third graders, and so much more. Around half or more of college kids never end up utilizing or employing their experience. $200,000+ in debt for jobs, where 30% plus drop out from burnout per AAMC, December 2025. Degrees devalued, debt weaponized, and indoctrination disguised as education. The left likes to try to tell me that blue states are education havens, ignoring the DEI distractions and ideological fluff that Trump-era heads ditched for real merit, focus on reality and stuff that truly counts, while blue states slid under Biden-Harris's watch. Per Education Next February 2025 NAEP breakdown, red states like Florida and Texas clocked just 5% learning loss post-pandemic in math and reading versus 12% in blue spots like California and New York. Red bans on faddish curricula swapped for phonics and core skills boosts our education systems and things like 8th grade reading, where red now outranks blue. Per City Journal June 2025 report, blues like Oregon tanked 15 points in 4th grade math from 2015 to 2024, while red surged via no focus on BS. Per John Locke Foundation's May analysis, Mississippi jumped past 41 states in reading, crediting evidence based on reducing teach nonsense and extremism instead of what counts for life. Blues are worsening fast compared to Trump's pre-Biden gains. U.S. News' 2024 rankings had reds like Utah and Iowa cracking top 5 in K-12 outcomes with 90% plus graduation rates, while blue Illinois and New Jersey lag at sub 85%, despite double the per-pupil spend per the Lions' May 2025 efficiency study, showing blues dead last in bang for buck. Urban Institute's January 2025 adjusted NAEP scores confirm that demographically reds perform better and outperform blues 7 to 10 points, with places like Louisiana gaining 8 per NAGB takeaways, proving ideological bloat and unnecessary teachings tank results and leave unready for solo adult life. Facts say that red delivers the real education in America, while Dems only hurt us per usual. Trump's education moves are fixing a broken and bloated system full of waste and indoctrination, and he delivers real gains for kids while dismantling the DOE that empowers states and parents like never before. Getting rid of the Department of Education is long overdue and is massively good, and it has even been attempted for decades by politicians like Reagan, Gingrich, and Rand Paul. President Trump's November 18th executive order finally kicks it off, actually, by offloading $80 billion in programs to states via interagency pacts per ed.gov, press release November 18th, 2025, and a White House fact sheet March 20th, 2025. This all slashes $2 billion in annual fraud per a GAO 2024 audit, lets locals trailer curricula. Florida's post-federal cuts saw 20% reading spikes and 15% in graduation hikes per an EdChoice study 2025 and also Florida DOE report. PragerU does not undermine slavery honors. That's total distortion. Their 2025 animated Frederick Douglass video explains compromises in the U.S. Constitution that speed abolition straight from Douglas's speeches, but it does not downplay the horrors. Critics like NPR cherry-pick to cry wolf while ignoring how it boosts civics knowledge. 15% PragerU's videos aren't Trump. They're a conservative nonprofit he praised for countering woke indoctrination. Reform wins, radicals lose. 2025, Trump's White House initiative on HBCUs has pumped over $255 million into historically black colleges for the second year straight, boosting enrollment by 12% and graduation rates up 3 points nationwide per US DOE data at ed.gov/statistics. School choice expansions under Trump let 20,000 more black families access vouchers and charters this year, cutting dropout rates in urban districts by 8%. Facts show AI and ChatGPT fueled many college gains and wins, while Trump brings in more personalized learning, 15% better problem solving, and future-proof kids. He expands apprenticeships by 800 million, 85% employed skipping debt. No more race hacks, DEI-based admissions, the real high achievers win. Crackdowns on anti-Semitism. Schools like Harvard literally pushed that white people need done away with. Texas schools post-CRT ban saw bullying down 12% and test scores up 8% per Texas ED agency 2025, and gender policies like bathroom access spiked assaults 25% under Obama rules per House Ed Committee. The Department of Education was created to bus black kids into white schools. It became an $80 billion slush fund for unions and bureaucrats. We're not gutting special ed, we're gutting the fat. Special needs kids still get served. It's just the $2 million grants to train teachers how to use pronouns are gone. If you think equality means $600 laptops for admins, that's your problem. We just think kids need more math and real teachings than diversity. The left likes to claim that the right are uneducated incel morons when the opposite is true. Trump's voters are real Americans on average who keep America running and the economy moving, while Dems and libs are artsy gender studying, usually like baristas, because nobody really likes to hire activists. Dems aren't smarter, they're just trained. They come out of college with a liberal arts degree and think that means they know more about life. They got blue hair, they have a rainbow flag on their freaking wall. Meanwhile, the trades are conservative plumbers, electricians, people building houses, mechanics, people who fix the real problems in America. Mental health stats, liberals admit to more anxiety, depression, and SSRIs. Crime, blue cities, and San Francisco, Chicago, shoplifting legal, shop owners bankrupt. Education, we learn how to survive. Blue states and cities are factually worse. Look, the contract isn't corrupt. It's the first time colleges have ever had to promise they'll actually teach instead of indoctrinate. No more $120,000 gender study majors. No more DEI admins making six figures to punish dissenters. Students want resistance, give them free speech in real classes. We can't even have debates on your college campuses anymore because you fascists keep throwing our Charlie Kirk-like debaters off. Say, no, we're a threat when we're not. This isn't protest, it's a tantrum against growing up. President Trump is saving our schools by slashing the federal bureaucracy, and that's been choking them for decades, redirecting billions back to classrooms where they belong. All education angles are debunked. Dems are the proven lesser educated party. I don't want to hear again.